I'm Emilio Pesmino, and today I'm heading to a place called Trilha dos Tucanos. Now, this is a site that I visited many years ago here in Brazil, and it's full of birds. There was tanagers and toucans and woodpeckers and flycatchers, because what the people do here is that they put feeding stations, like they leave out bananas for the birds to come, and all these wild birds are completely wild, have almost lost their fear of humans. So they're very brightly colored, they're very beautiful, but you could get right up to them. And there's so many species. I'm super excited to show you guys. And there's more, because last time I came during the off-season, and there wasn't that many supposedly. And right now, we're in the high season. So let's see what we're gonna find. Lie, I'm a little bit disappointed because you can see there's very few birds and it's nothing to compare to what I described to you before. And I have a theory as to why that is. As you can see, there's a lot of sun right now. It's very hot today, unusually hot. And right now it's supposed to be winter here. Like I remember I came 2 months later in the year last time, and it was very cold. It was fog everywhere, and there was also wind. But now it's very hot. Maybe it's global warming that's affecting all of this change in the animals. Good news is I hear some parakeets in the back. So if we go check over there, there might be something. Well, we did find some birds back here. Not the parakeets. Oh, there we go. Now the parakeets are coming. Look at this little tanager. I believe you see all the green tanager. Look at that. We got 2 different species in one hand. We got the plain parakeets, and then the other green tanager, and the parakeets scared it away. Look at these guys. These guys are called the plain parakeets, and they're endemic to Brazil. But that doesn't mean they're rare. They're very common. It's just that they don't live outside the country. Look at that. We got 4 at the same time. 5. Although we're not getting to see toucans today, this is definitely pretty cool. Note that these birds are completely wild. They're not domesticated. This isn't inside an aviary. These are wild birds, and the thing is that they've been feeding these birds for decades now, so now they're used to people. And so they just come right up to you. Look, whoa, that's a lot. As you can see, they're pretty territorial amongst themselves. They're constantly fighting. We've also got another species of parakeet hanging around here somewhere called the maroon-bellied parakeet, but they're a lot more shy, so I doubt that they're going to come right to my hand. Let me see if I can find one. I don't see one right now, but when it shows up, I'm going to point it out. Look at that blonde woodpecker right there. There's another species of bird that will often eat from your hand here, which is right here on the ground right now. Very colorful and very small. It's called the green-headed tanager. But unfortunately, the parakeets are not letting them eat. So let's see if I can get the parakeets off so that this guy can eat. Come on, let him eat. Come on, let him eat. Let him eat. There we go. You see? You guys are bullies right here. Now that we're at the front, we can get away from the plain parakeets. And it seems like now we can successfully feed the green-headed tanager. Look at that. They're a little bit more shy right now. But they're still coming. In my opinion, it's one of the most beautiful birds out there. It's so an honor to have them eating right out of my hand. You can see that the olive green tanagers, they're a little bit more cautious. They're just kind of hanging out in the back. They're slowly getting closer, but they're not going to the banana like they did back there. But the green-headed tanagers are eating right away. Out of all the birds that visit toucan trails, the green-headed tanager is probably the most comfortable around humans. They're not afraid to come inside houses and even eat from people's plates. Now the olive green tanagers are eating, but when the parakeets got here, look at that. Now you can see that the parakeets have arrived and the olive green tanagers started eating. Makes me wonder why they don't eat when the parakeets are not here. And they do eat when the parakeets are here, even though the parakeets will sometimes bully them out of food. Maybe it's a sort of alarm system so that they know that the parakeets are going to make noise when there's danger. So they only let their guard down when the parakeets are nearby. We're going back here again, and it looks like there's a squirrel in the feeder. Let's see if I can get close. This is incredible, guys. The squirrel is now eating from my hand. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Up there is another species of parakeet called the maroon-bellied parakeet. Right now you can't see it from here, but if we zoom in just a little, hang on. See if we can zoom in up there. There we go. Can you guys see them now? So we got a pair of the maroon-bellied parakeets just hanging out in the trees. We have more over here. Now they're close. I can share them to you guys. Here we can observe the two parakeets side by side. These species often forage together and don't really fight amongst each other. Fortunately, neither of them are threatened or endangered, and both species can often be found in places like city parks or gardens due to their adaptable nature. Despite the initial challenges of the day, we got extremely lucky as the weather changed suddenly. A gust of wind brought a thick fog and cold rain. Almost immediately, we witnessed a change in the birds' behavior, as the once barren feeders up front were teeming with life, and the hummingbirds fluttered around, sipping nectar. But most importantly, it marked the arrival of the most sought-after animals of the day. Now the weather's cooled down a bit, and guess who showed up? It's the toucans. Look at that. We got 3 of them right here. Now these are actually called the saffron toucanet. They're one of my favorite toucan species because they're super friendly. Look at them. All 3 of them just chilling right there, eating right out of my hand. This is what I really wanted to show you guys when I came here today. The toucanets. There's more coming. And the reason they're here is because now the sun is gone. There's a chill that came in, and that's how they travel. They come in with the cold weather, looking for food. Now here we are with a saffron toucanet on one hand and the green-headed tanager on the other. 2 incredible species, side by side and on my hands, eating the bananas. The saffron toucanet is known locally as the acai banana because of its characteristic yellow color. Like many of the birds we've seen today, it's endemic to the Atlantic forest and they are threatened by habitat fragmentation. We got 2 of them, see, look at that. Besides the toucans, the cold weather also brought in another friendly bird. But unlike the others, this one does not eat bananas. So here we have another type of bird that'll eat right out of your hand, but this one does not eat bananas. It eats sunflower seeds. It's called the grosbeak. Look at this guy. Here they're called the pimentão. You can identify them because they have a black body, but they have their thick, orange, reddish beak. They remind me a lot of the finches that they have back in Ecuador. So far, all the animals we've talked about, 7 in total, have been the ones who've eaten out of my hand. But it's worth mentioning all the other species who are either too shy or have different diets. A good example would be the woodpeckers, such as the blonde-crested woodpecker I pointed out earlier. We also saw a second species called the yellow-fronted woodpecker. We saw both the male and female, and you can tell them apart because the male has a red head, while the female has a black head. There were also other species of tanager, such as the sayaka tanager, the azure-shouldered tanager, the golden chevron tanager, the black-goggled tanager, who also love bananas, and the very distinct magpie tanager. Another bird that showed up was the cacique, a type of blackbird. We also have caciques in Ecuador, but this species is called the red-rumped cacique. These birds build colonies of long, pendulent nests to raise their young. And this brings us to our final bird of the day, the elusive squirrel cuckoo, named so because they jump around from tree to tree like squirrels. This was an awesome day, guys. It could not have gone any better. So we're going to continue to let these guys eat. Buenos muchachos. Until next time. Although this expedition has been our last in Brazil, our adventures in Latin America are far from over, as Season 3 is just getting started. And next week, we're heading back to Ecuador on the search for more exotic creatures. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and comment down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out on any new adventures by clicking the channel icon right above. Or click here to watch another video. And as always, thanks for watching.